So to evaluate how much you pick up from those lectures, we will have online homework. The online homework, we run through the active website. It's a website. Do not go to the website to try to get signed in. You need to access through Blackboard at least the first time. Your grades from active will go into the Blackboard gradebook. So that's why you need to enter through Blackboard so that it syncs. That's basically your Blackboard personality or Lee College ID will go to active, and that way the grades can come back in. So you have to access it through Blackboard the first time. Once you get your account set up, you can just go directly to active's website or download, like they have an app and stuff. Each week is going to have 2 homework assignments. They're due every Wednesday and Saturday at midnight. The midweek has a few problems that only cover the first lecture only. The idea is to kind of make you think about chemistry a little bit between the first set of videos and the second set of videos. And the week homework will be due on Saturday. And it'll cover both sets of videos. Points-wise, this midweek is only worth 5 points. I know fitting things in the middle of the week can be tough. So that's more points per question than the weekly homework is, and trying to reward you. I encourage you strongly to do those midweeks. In active, the system provides links to helpful information before you answer a question. It'll go to the OpenStax section, some other things. And there's also feedback based on wrong answers. So I encourage you to use that. Your score is penalized 10% for each incorrect response. So it's a little bit of a penalty, but if you do get it wrong, there is feedback. I encourage you to read that. And then you kind of get a sense of how to kind of correctly answer the question, hopefully. All right, so when we're trying to do the homework, if we're in Blackboard, we can see it's active online homework. Open up the module. We have some account creation instructions, vital source bookshelf. So this is, if we are distributing access codes, activation codes, this is where it'll be. Again, I don't know where it's going to come from. You might need one, you might not. I got vital source bookshelf set up. We'll see if it works, or if we need it. If you've opted out of my books, you will need to pay inside active. So there's active learning support. This is a link to, this is I think a document I made. But yeah, you can get technical support from active, submit there, and then their website, which is nice. They have a really nice part of it. So otherwise you click the active, it'll launch. I'm not going to do it because it messes up. I'm in student preview on Blackboard, and it's going to take me into instructor active. So I previously went in, I launched it, I got into active. When you go, you'll be prompted to make an account. If you have an account from when if you took Chem 1 at Lee, if you have that account, you can still use like the login to active, and then it'll just sync it with this new Blackboard iteration. You're in this new course. But when you log in and you get set up, this is what it'll look like, and it'll be blank because it defaults to in class. I don't use in class. We're using the homework tab. So now you can see them all. Everything is up the entire semester. I do not encourage you to work I encourage you to work ahead, but not be, doing week 8 homework right now. But working through week 1, getting started on week 2 early, those are good ideas. So if I click in on week 1 homework, you can see midweek 1 homework. I have a few questions. Each question is worth the same amount of points. That's for like the overall percentage of the homework. There's just like problems, correct? And then that gets translated into how many points you get. And so out of the total 5 you could get. So if we click on a question, which following phase changes would be exothermic, we've got some phase changes. So if we open this, additional resources, there's a periodic table, learn more in OpenStax. When you click that, this is fully integrated with OpenStax in that it'll take you to the section of OpenStax where the answer to this question is. So I encourage you to use those kind of link in OpenStax if you don't know the answers to questions. Is exothermic. Okay, so I say I think it's boiling, and I submit. I will submit. It tells me I got it wrong. An exothermic phase change, heat needs to be removed. Okay, so then I get that right. I can retry. Yay, freezing, I got it correct. Sometimes the solution, it'll give you kind of some description here. And so it'll give you more information there. You can kind of look through that. And if I click next, now it takes me to the next question. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so, and you can see I got 0.9 points there. So I got, 90% of this question, which then translates to some number of points out of the 5. So, you're getting the points for each of these questions, how much of the total points per question, then that gets translated to points for the homework. So a couple layers there, but if you ever have any questions about it, but I promise the calculations are all working correctly. And so, but we've got that there. So again, we're gonna have homework due every Wednesday and every Monday. And again, this is due this Monday, January 5th. No, what am I doing? That's when I made it. I made it on January 5th. This is due Wednesday, January 14th. So every Wednesday and Saturday, that first midweek homework is going to be due then, and then the weekly homework is going to be due on Saturday. That is not when I made them. Whatever. Who knows? But if you have any questions about Active, and if for the access codes, I don't know what it is. But once we have some insight, I encourage you to try to get logged into Active as soon as possible. Try to get in there, make an account, see if it's starting to prompt you for information, and then we can kind of figure out what we need to do. But otherwise, that's it for homework. We got a couple more types of assignments to look at. See you in the next video.